Today, it's exactly 4 years since the Grenfell tragedy, which killed 72 people. During that time, we've spoken to bereaved families and survivors about grief and the trauma of the aftermath of such an unimaginable tragedy. On this poignant day, Tara Welsh has been hearing from some trying to find a way to heal and still waiting for justice.
A little boy plays in the shadow of the tower. He wasn't even born when 72 people died in a fire there. It's been 4 years since that day. 4 years since the candles were first lit here. 4 years since the world looked on as families pleaded for help finding their loved ones.
Still living in hope for them, even though they were on the 22nd floor at the time of the incident.
All 6 of his relatives died. His mother, sister, brother-in-law and their 3 daughters.
I'm not coping, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to cope. I still pick up the phone to dial my mother or my sister or my brother-in-law, and I forget, God rest their souls, that they're not here anymore. You know, I kind of, you still believe that they're there, but you can't believe they've gone. And it still hasn't sunk in, even though I know they're gone, I buried them. Yeah.
An inquiry was launched 3 months after the fire. The first part found systemic failures in the fire brigade's response. The second phase, looking into the cause of the disaster, is still ongoing.
A sense that actually justice delayed is justice denied. And that continuing feeling that what we went through as a community has not actually reached the ears of the people in power who can make the changes that would indicate that they're learning lessons from the fire. And that has meant that as a community, we're finding it incredibly difficult to heal and to move on.
In the days that followed the fire, these railings were covered with pictures of the missing. Of course, as the months and years have gone on, they've turned into memorials to those that were lost. Every time I come down here, I get a sense of how passionate and how willing to fight this community are, but also a sense now that some are completely drained by the whole experience.
And we have the trauma of the actual incident, but I think for us, the biggest trauma and what impacted that the most was what happened afterwards. You mean you've done this and you're still not going to admit it, you're not going to try to help, you're still going to slime your way out of it, you're still going to try and destroy us. It's like, how do you recover from that once that acknowledgement and that awakening?
Today, new tributes and flowers are at the base of the tower, alongside the questions which are yet to be answered. Tara Welsh, BBC London.